Welcome back to SwitchCorner, and today Black Friday deals, they finally started to drop on physical releases. So here I'm going to be breaking down my favourite 10 I've seen so far, and no doubt you can expect to see a few of these videos over this next week because there's still a whole lot out there I do want to talk about. Now while here on the channel I do normally cover all regions, just be warned with this video for the most part these are exclusive to North America at time of recording because I've basically dove into sales at Best Buy, Amazon, Target, GameStop and Walmart. So with that, hit subscribe if you love the Switch as much as we all do here, join our growing family, and let's get started. So first up, let's start things big. Bioshock The Collection is coming in with a mighty 60% off. This collection, it brings together Bioshock Remastered, Bioshock 2 Remastered, and then Bioshock Infinite, the complete edition, and what a collection this is. I put out a preview on this actual collection back when it released, showing you some gameplay, the performance, and then of course handheld, and just talk about 2K games absolutely delivering. They look incredible, especially the most recent Bioshock Infinite. Go in here though expecting a first-person shooter, but it definitely has a slower pace at moments and an incredibly unique story, which also has small elements of almost horror, and there's also this incredibly sinister undertone to nearly every moment you spend with it. A classic though, a masterpiece in this world. It's well worth exploring, from the underwater world of Rapture to a city that floats in the clouds. This is a steal, but just be warned it may be on cartridge, but that install size, it's still gonna need 31 gig because there's not a single complete game on the cartridge itself, rather just small chunks of each. Alright, so race fans, this was definitely a surprise. Need for Speed Hot Pursuit, just a week following release, sees a 38% drop, and I feel sorry for anyone who paid full price at release because I never would have guessed it would be this quick. That all said though, amazing racer, and the work they've done here, it just looks great on the Switch. It runs super smooth with a nice consistent frame rate. There's a ton to do as well in this world, from street racing to outrunning cops to being the cops yourself. Do not go into this one expecting heavy customization though. It's all about getting behind the wheel of a car as quickly as possible and then basically going as fast as possible. The highlight for me though with this one, racers are not exactly known for their online community on the Switch. This one is tackling that issue thanks to crossplay, bringing all console players and even PC gamers together, and that was seriously refreshing, jumping online and not having to worry about endless waits for a lobby that was gonna, remain empty. I have a full review over on the channel though if you do want to check it out. Not a huge discount now, but the Survivalists, it's coming in with 20% off. This is one of my personal Black Friday pickups. Just place the order as I put this list together. It's another one I've reviewed on the channel and I really enjoyed. It's more simplistic and less, let's say, brutal take on the survival genre. Taking the graphical style and some minor mechanics from the Escapists, the idea is simple. Wake up in a procedurally generated set of islands, basically been shipwrecked, and now you need to work out how to survive, meaning resource gathering, crafting, cooking, all that good stuff. There's even some dungeons to explore, a main quest line, and even some combat. Where this one makes life just a little bit easier though than most in this genre, there's no permadeath. You lose everything you've got on your person, but at least you don't die permanently. It works really well. It means you can just kind of relax a little bit more, enjoy the ride, and then best of all, you can even play online with up to 4 players, and I strongly suggest you approach this one in that way. So I had to mention this one now, Power Rangers Battle for the Grid, because this one's been a weird ride. So for those that don't know, Limited Run Games originally released this physically. They normally do a good job of getting, the whole game on cartridge, but then with this one they didn't get any DLC on there and they charged a AAA price point. People paid though, they got the game, they were obviously happy. Then it was announced a physical release was coming, and not just any physical release, but a collector's edition, which now included some, not all, but some of the DLC too, to make that feeling just a little bit worse. So you've just bought a limited run game, they even marked the price at half the limited run game's asking price. Folks seemed pretty annoyed, which was understandable, I totally get it. But yeah, now they've gone and also discounted it. If you don't own it though, it's a 3 versus 3 fighter, think old school Street Fighters, Mortal Kombat and the like, but it's a whole lot better than I think anyone would have expected from a game with the Power Rangers name on the cover. RPG fans, Trails of Mana is a steal right now with 60% off. I didn't get to review this one personally, but Mark over at SwitchUp put out a great detailed review on this one, which is well worth taking a look at if you are considering adding this one to the collection. I'm sure most of you already know the channel, but if you don't, go ahead and check them out. Trials is a remake of a title from 1995 that never did make its way west, and you now get two choices. You can play this built up like from the ground up variation, or there is also on the Switch a collection of mana which finally translated the original. That version though probably best reserved for those who don't mind, you know, their retro. It is the stronger version of the game honestly, but it's just going to be a little harder for those that didn't grow up around the era to digest. Here though, expect almost an action RPG. It's not turn-based but rather arena-like combat as you get free movement and you duke it out with some seriously impressive enemies. I like this though, the story's solid and it even changed based upon who you chose to be your hero opening up the game. With around 30 hours of gameplay then, there's worse ways to spend some cash honestly, and I think this one it's gonna sell out quick. Luckily though, as of now there is a couple of stores advertising this Black Friday price. Alright, so let's go first party then, and while we are on RPGs, Link's Awakening, I don't know how much I really need to say on this one. It's a classic and it comes with the usual quality you would expect from any game that, you know, comes attached with the Zelda name. Here, nearly everywhere is advertising this price, and it also includes a digital and physical option if you're more inclined to go digital. A remake though of the legendary Game Boy Adventure, this one is almost isometric action, and you'll be exploring this world hacking and slashing your way against just like huge numbers of enemies. You'll be traversing dungeons of course, and then you'll also just be working out where the hell you are, because this place, it's far away from Hyrule. This was a nice surprise remake, and now this price makes it a whole lot sweeter with 33% off. There is also at this point I want to mention a ton of other first party titles on sale too. Think like Luigi's Mansion 3, Yoshi's Crafted World and more, but I'll be going into those offers in just a little bit more detail over the next couple of days. Just wanted to give Link's Awakening a quick individual shout out. Alright, so a bit more niche, but PGA Tour 2K21, it joined the Switch this year. It's another one I reviewed on the channel personally. I'll link them in the pinned comment below for all the games I've reviewed in today's video. But I've got to say I enjoyed this one for the most part. Yes, it's had some areas for sure pulled back visually to make it manageable on the Switch. Think like the crowds are missing, that's a big one. It's a little bit weird, but strangely it almost comes off as realism given the current quarantines. This one though, it's HB Studios. They were behind the fantastic Golf Club series, and giving them the PGA license to play with, it was never gonna be a bad thing. Here though, create your golfer and just rise through the ranks. It even has a seriously impressive and in-depth course creator, which I did enjoy kind of messing around with. I'm just not that good to actually release these awful courses to the public. My only warning, a lot of people didn't like this. You don't play as the high profile golfers, rather compete against them, so don't go in expecting to choose a pro here, because that is not the case. 53% off though, it's a much steeper discount than I expected to see this soon after release. And with this one, taking this game on the go though is great stuff once you get your head around the short travel time of the left stick on the Joy-Cons that's going to be, you know, powering your swing. Alright, so the final three games first, Xcom 2 Collection. I did an early preview of this one over on the channel. It's not perfect, meaning the frame rate at points seriously struggles, but that compromise for one of the best ever turn-based strategy games on the go, I'll absolutely take it. You just gotta kind of like go in knowing it's gonna be noticeable. Also, honestly, this game barely runs perfectly on any platform anyway, it's just kind of the way it is. Here though, aliens, they rule Earth, and it's down to you as the leader of a guerrilla faction to take Earth back and save the human race from extinction. This one though pretty much nails it in every single department. Great gameplay, some nice base management, a lot of choice in progression, and then it even throws in the War of the Chosen expansion and 4 DLC packs. At this price, you will easily get your money's worth thanks to content that could easily take you flying over that 100-hour mark. So yeah, 60% off, absolute steal. So our penultimate game of the video then, and I think this will be the big one for most of you out there, the mighty Fire Emblem Three Houses. 50% off is exclusive here to GameStop, but if that does, you know, sell out, you can check out Best Buy, who have it for like $5 more right now as well. Like Xcom though, this is another one where you could easily see your playtime flying over that 100-hour mark if you are completionist. But yeah, what a game this is. There's a huge amount of depth to this one, and I strongly suggest you go ahead and watch a full review video first, because there is just so much going on here. Honestly, you couldn't break it down in a 15-20 minute video. The general idea is this though: war is coming, you are like a professor teaching at an academy, guide your students through not only their studies but turn-based battles too. With 3 houses to choose from and a 4th house, actually an expansion pack that's out now, this is like well loved for a reason, and everything here is near to perfection, from the story to its pacing to the combination of gameplay elements. just be prepared here to dedicate some serious time to moving this one forward. As I say, it's not short, and it's going to be a good 5 to 10 hours until things even really start to get going. Alright, so my favourite pickup so far, one I've just ordered myself. In fact, I only had the digital release thanks to the folks over at Sega, but this is Catherine Full Body. I'm a huge fan of this game. I own it on multiple systems, but it's a cult classic that I try to talk about as much as possible. It's very much an adult story, but this Full Body edition takes the original game story and then builds upon it with a new third character, meaning like a whole new third side story to complete. Here though, you're taking on the role of Vincent is in a serious relationship. Things are pretty good, or at least they are, until you cheat on your partner and find yourself now balancing not one but two love lives, all while now seeing the introduction of a third potential love interest as well. This isn't even the biggest problem though, you're having nightmares, and if you die in these nightmares, you die in real life. It combines a whole lot of story with this stunning animation style, but then the nightmares, they are what translate to the gameplay. It's a tower you need to climb, it's a puzzle, and it's a race for your life. I have a full review of this one on the channel. It does show its age for sure now, it's like over 10 years old at this point, but I still think it's more than worth your time if you don't mind something, as I say, that is like 18 plus. It is for sure not for kids. And that's my first favourite 10 of the deals so far that I've seen. There's a lot more out there though, and I think over this next couple of days, as I said, I'm going to be following this up with probably another video or two if everyone enjoys this one. With that though, like a shout out to the patrons of the channel who are just going above and beyond to support SwitchCorner. It helps more than you know, so thank you all so much. If you do want to check that out for yourself, I have linked it in the video description down below. Then hit subscribe if you love the Switch as much as we all do here. Join our growing family, and I'll see you all on the next video. Thanks everyone.